Champ and Contender Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Champ and Contender Podcast. My name is Joseph J. Jones.
My name is Fabian Collymore.
And we talk to the champs and the contenders of this world from all realms of reality. And today we have a very talented rapper with us. He's a lyrical genius, in my opinion, and probably yours once you go and look him up. Listen, we are joined today with none other than Eklipse. How you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for coming to the pub.
Yes. No, listen, thank you for having me. I feel honoured to be in it. It's great in it.
yes, appreciate it. We were saying off camera, like, you're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you should have been a West Ham fan, like, coming from the East End.
I still am a West Ham fan. I can't even deny it. I love the Irons.
Yeah,
I love the Irons. I love seeing them do good things, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's hard this season, though.
So it feels at home. Well, it's all right with Potter at the moment, but we won't timestamp it.
I don't think he'll be gone by then.
No. We kept talking about Lepetegi, and like as soon as it all come out, he was gone. Never mind. Lesson learned. Right, for those who don't know you, Eklipse,
yes,
tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm a rapper from East London, from a, I would say, small place called Newham. You get me?
Yeah.
Very well-known place, as you would know as a West Ham fan. Yeah, I grew up like not too far from Green Street and that. In terms of like my artistry and who I am in terms of all of that stuff, I started making music like kind of late into my creative journey. Like my mum's a poet and a creative, so I used to be kind of a bit of a bad child in school. And there was a point I was homeschooled, and she basically, my English lessons were poetry lessons, and that's how I got into writing and whatnot. And then at the age of like 15, I'd say, and I'm a big man now, but at the age of 15 I started delving into music, and here we are today in 2025, still doing music, still doing shows. How we met, Joseph.
Yeah.
I was
gonna say, we did So Far Sounds together, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And I was tuning up my guitar, and I think you was doing your sound check, or you. No, you wasn't. You wasn't doing your sound check. You come in, you rolled in. You come late, and I sat down. I was like, okay, let's see what this guy's got, and you're on the pod because I thought, oh, this guy's amazing. So,
no, likewise, bro. That's what I mean.
Oh, I appreciate it. Like, for someone to be confident, just press play, here's the track, and just to go and do what you do. So why Eklipse?
If I'm honest with you, it was the only name that like kind of made sense and stuck.
Right.
So like obviously I was 15. Maybe was I 14? 15 or 14, something like that, when I first come up with a name. And obviously being from a poetry background, words are quite important to me, innit? And I'd always intended to kind of be multifaceted in the music that I do, from grime to hip hop to R&B, like that's always been an aim of mine. And when it came down to the words that kind of made sense and didn't sound weird, Eklipse was kind of like, I'm like, oh, there's balance there, dark, light. You get me, sun and moon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it kind of just stuck. It kind of just stuck from there on, and I've never thought to change it.
Okay, so you say that your mum was a poet.
Yeah.
So is that where your influence comes from?
100%. Like in terms of like my initial influence.
Yeah.
Like in terms of just like a love for writing and words, and like in terms of like, thank you for even bigging me up in terms of lyrics, because that's a very important part of what I do. Like there's always a story, you know what I'm saying? And because I came from poetry and she taught me that initially, like anything that I do, there's a story behind it. Anything that I create, that it comes from a place that exists in my life or in the world or in my memories, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of that artistic expression, that is always kind of honed through based upon her influence, without that.
Amazing. So even your, like, I know I was bigging up your lyrics, but your flows as well, like they're very vast. Like you're not in one box, are you? You sort of delve into a vast areas of British rap, in my opinion. Like, what talk to us a bit about that. Where are you at the moment as an artist in terms of UK rap? Where do you see yourself?
You know what, if I'm honest with you, that's a hard question for me. That's a question I usually ask people.
Yeah.
Like, where do you see me in terms of fitting me in that field? Because whatever genre it may be, if we're going to do it based upon genre, I feel like I just try and delve into it, which is why when you said lyrics and that being an important part of what I'm on or what I do, in terms of the flow is influenced by the music.
Yeah.
Whereas the writing is always going to be influenced by my life or what I've experienced or where I've come from or what I saw that day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always going to be like, oh yeah, this is who I am, this is what I've gone through. Whereas like I will say that in so many different ways depending upon the music. The music's the inspiration, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I find that question quite difficult because I don't really feel like I fit anywhere solely, should I say. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say I'm a road rapper. I could jump on a road rap beat and I think I would I know I'd sit comfortably because I've done those tunes.
Yeah.
I can jump on a house tune and sit comfortably. Like I can jump on a garage tune and sit comfortably. So I just like music, bro. I'll just be anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
So why do you think this is? Is it just like a natural gift that you've got? You've been able to just fit in all pockets?
I wouldn't even say it's a gift, you know, because when I started rapping, my flow was absolutely terrible.
Really?
Yeah, especially coming from poetry. Like poetry's a blank canvas, isn't it? Yeah. Like I can write whatever I want, free form on a page to whatever tempo's in my mind at whatever pacing. But like at the age that I was in school and music became a big influence, it was grime.
Yeah.
So like that's 140 BPM. That's some crazy stuff to try and find yourself in. And I feel like if I talk about like music generally, I feel like anyone that did grime at that period of time, you can do any other genre.
Yeah.
Like Krept and Conan, them guys, they did a lot of grime back in the day.
Yeah.
And they became very big in like the rap scene, you know what I'm saying, the UK rap scene. But it's easy for you when you can go from spitting on rhythms that fast, or anyone that did when like the Funky House era was running.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those guys were grime MCs. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like from there, once I learned kind of like how to find my pocket in that realm and still feel comfortable with what I'm saying and not forfeiting the lyrical side of it, doing other genres just became easy. It's really just a question of, do I like the song?
Yeah, I think it's like with, say, singers and things like that, because I'm a singer, obviously, but it's like I've often said on this podcast, like pigeonhole yourself so that the audience know who you are as an artist. Yeah. But I think with rappers, you sort of wipe that slate clean because you have to be able to adapt to other things, right? Like every sketch that you paint, it can be completely different, but it still falls in that realm to me at the end of the day as poetry.
Yeah.
Like I love Mike Skinner, you know, like to me the streets, like to me, like my two gods are Frank Sinatra and Mike Skinner, and that makes no sense.
No, it does though.
Yeah, because they're G's, do you know what I mean? Like they're up there, they're the coldest people, and I feel it makes sense to me. Like, and Mike Skinner to me is that typical artist where I go, yeah, he's an artist. Yeah. And I think if you're a rapper and you can be an artist, which I see in you,
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. But I see it, you know, especially when you were performing, I was like, yeah, I like because I like dark stuff, and I was like, there was like a dark tone to this stuff as well, you know. But the rhythms you were doing, it was upbeat, and then you could slow it down, and then you could, you know, fast paced. And this is like, I'm like, I always describe myself as a general pop head, talking, because to me, say grime music is punk music.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
It's like, it's from the streets, it's real, it's anger, 100%. It's like we have something to say.
It's venting.
Yeah. And hip hop come from that, you know?
100%.
It'll come from all of that. What do you prefer to do? Because obviously I've seen you live and I thought you was quality. And like, do you prefer performing live, or do you prefer being in the studio?
I personally prefer... Oh, that's a hard question, isn't it? I think... I like them both for different reasons, but I would say I prefer performing. Only because performing is reactionary.
Yeah.
Like I love going out there and feeling out the vibe.
Yeah.
You get me? Whether I'm tired or not, whether I've had a long day or whether someone's pissed me off somewhere else, you get me? I can come and like have a relationship with people that I've never spoken to, never met before, and I get to see it in real time, how the music makes them feel, how they enjoy it, and I get to feed off that and bounce back off that. In the studio, I do love it as well though, because I do get to just indulge in expression.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, there's no format. Like, and I'm one of these people that I don't really like doing this. Oh, I've got like 2 hours at Pirate. Like, I'd rather go to a studio as like, this is the studio I'm going to.
Yeah.
And block out the time and be like, I'm here for the day, so we can just bounce around the ideas. So I love them both for different reasons, but there's something in performing that you don't get in the studio, innit?
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know what I mean? So, yeah.
So what's your process in writing the song, your music, like in the studio? How does it all come about for you?
It depends, you know? Like, a little tipple.
I'll get another one in a minute.
Thank you very much. It depends, you know. I feel like, so I do a lot of sessions. Right now, I've kind of got this situation with like a mate of mine. He's got his own studio, but he's not there all the time. So like, I rent a few of the days. So for me, my thing is like one, consistency. But when I have studio sessions where I can tell people come through, I love almost A&R in sessions. Like, I love bringing in, thankfully I've been in studio long enough that I've done sessions recording myself for time and things like that. So recording myself in that's not a problem. I'll sort all of that out. But in terms of what I'm really enjoying now is bringing loads of people together and kind of like seeing what we can make when we just mix everything together in a mad way, you know what I mean? Whether it be producers, sometimes I might have 3 producers together, they don't know each other, and I'm the only rapper.
Wicked.
Just so I can see, because I'm like, he makes a bit of house, he makes grime, he does a bit of boom bap, so he's gonna come with a mad sample from like the hip hop element in his mind. He's gonna come with the drums that I want because he's a grime guy, and you're gonna give it a bit of bounce. So we might make something I've never heard today. You know what I mean? So like, it's like cooking to me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm literally like, what can I add here? And if I'm there on my own, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, how can I do something I haven't done before? That's always my thing in the studio, unless I'm doing a feature or unless I'm like, oh, I'm here to do like specific work today. I'm always like, nah, that can't sound like that tune though. So yeah, most of the time I just try and look for a narrative, a theme, a beat that kind of just sends me a bit like, oh, that's a bit new. I get bored easily, innit? So I just try and spice things up, and that's also probably why I do loads of genres. And I find it hard to answer your question in terms of where would I put myself in UK rap.
But I think you answered it, you know, in the best way possible. You know, there isn't an answer, really, is there? It's like you have to put your toe in every pond.
Yeah.
Like, why not? Like, going on that, like your collaborations and things in the studios, I see that you was working with Jelani Blackman.
Oh yeah, that's my guy. That's my brother.
Yeah, mate. I mean, he's an interesting one. Like, I was looking, you know, deep into his music, and like, there's just tracks where he's like, the music's overtaking more and he's just talking stuff. And it's more, as we said again, that poetry sort of feel. I mean, what's Jelani like in the studio?
Oh, he's great. Like, see with Jelani, I feel like Jelani, in terms of like, I've known Jelani for a long time. So I'm trying to think, when did I first meet Jelani? I might have been like 15.
Wow.
So I've known him maybe like half my life, 15, 16, like half my life, yeah, around that. So, but like, it's a thing where when I actually met Jelani, he solely played saxophone. He didn't rap.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, he raps and plays sax. So like, he comes from a musical background, and I think that's where you see like in the studio someone that has something that's a bit different from just, I'm just a rapper. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm blessed to have had the poetry background where like words take the forefront before my appearance as a rapper or what I want to be as a rapper on the song. You know what I mean? And I think his understanding of music, especially through like a beautiful instrument like the sax, very much influences how much he's willing to let go of being a rapper in the booth or in the studio settings. So like, he literally just invited me down, and it's been a long time coming, but like, everything works out when it's supposed to happen in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? And he just shouted me, and he was just like, yeah, bro, like, I'm doing a remix to this tune, jump on. I went to the studio. I love testing myself with time, so I think I wrote the verse in like 15 minutes. Yeah, quickly went in, sprayed it, and as long as me, I'm always like, do you like it? And he was like, yeah. And he's like, I'm going back in the booth. And we did that like as a back and forth. So like, his energy is very much clean competitiveness. You get me? It's like, he wants to be inspired in the studio, and I'm a similar kind of person. You get me? I love being like the same way I love bringing those people together. So I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm around someone, even as an individual, like, I'm like, rah, you do that. Same way I came up to you, I was like, nah, bro, that was cold. Like, even though I don't sing, because for me, that's inspiring to me. Like, I'm gonna go and take the energy that you gave me and be like, how can I do that with what I've got over here? Or like, how can I, not even like I'm trying to copy it, but just how can I implement the things that I enjoyed seeing as an audience member in what I do? Like, you know what I'm saying? And me and him very much bounce off each other like that. Like my last gig of the year last year was with Jelani for the release of his EP with the latest collaboration that we've got on it, Inside. So yeah, we literally performed songs back to back. So we just feed off each other, man, and the energy just bounces off each other. It's dope.
Yeah, I love that. It feels like you've got this energy when you're in the studio. Like even here, just talking now, it just feels like you're inspired by so many different genres in music. Like how do you get everything out? Because there's so much in your head, it feels like.
Yeah, no, my head's always racing. That's why I drink and have a little
On that note, I'll get you another one.
Thank you, man. Yeah, Thank you very much, fella. I much appreciated. Yeah, but like my mind's always racing. But if I'm honest with you, this is about to get a bit deep.
Yeah, go for it.
But I think like we spend a lot of time like trying to avoid things, innit? And like, and music is like through like one of the few veins in which I don't feel like I need to avoid anything.
Okay.
Like we all have like love in our life. You know what I'm saying? Some people have more of it or less of it, but we all have people that we desire, whether it be on a personal level as like, I want these people to be around me and I want comfort from people that I know, thank you very much, and care about and love, or whether it be on an intimate level. You get me? We all do that. We all get angry. Like we all have arguments. We all feel sad. We all have days that we're happy. We all have like moments where we're celebrating things. So I could not imagine, especially because like I said, the premise of any form of creative expression for me is like being authentic to myself and my experiences. I couldn't make music that's just one genre. So I'm not always angry.
Yeah.
I'm not always sad. I'm not always, I want to lay with this gal. I'm not always, let me dance in the party. I'm not always anything.
Yeah.
So that's why like it kind of appeals to me to be able to let out all of the thoughts in my head through like a wide palette and spectrum. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I always like, you know, Kanye for me was the guy that was like, you know, rappers are artists and rappers are rock stars. You know, why can't we have a palette and paint it? You know, it doesn't all have to be, you know, some of his beats ain't even beats. You know, it's just like synthesizers and like amazing, you know, gospel choirs and things like that. I'm interested when you were saying like you're like an A&R in a room. Like, would you ever delve into A&Ring?
Yeah. 100%. I will definitely delve into it. It's just more of a thing where I feel like in an industry setting of it paying me, it's a bit long, innit? Like it's a bit long. I have to work for a label, all of that. But if that opportunity ever arose, 100%. Like I've done retreats and stuff. Like I've organised retreats where I've like, we got a house somewhere in the sticks in the middle of the boonies and that, and we've just gone out there, taken all the equipment, taken the UAD, whatever, and all the mics, and we've just gone up there and just been there for 4 days recording. Yeah. So like things like that to me, in terms of within the creation of music, I love it.
Yeah.
You get me? I love it. Like I love that kind of like I said, it's like cooking to me. So I definitely would do it. You get me? I just hate doing things as a job, I guess. I hate being told I got to do it. But in terms of like doing that, I feel like I would always be like, yo, I think you would really work well with this person. That's just something that I feel like is just part of being part of the community, innit?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
I see you a lot on SBTV. Back in the day, you know, and you know, someone that reminds me a little bit of Jamal Edwards. Like he must have seen so much talent and just been like, you know, get in front of this, you know, like we'll do something with you and we'll do something with you as well. Like what's the SBTV for no one that, for those who don't know, what is that experience like?
Okay. R.I.P. Jamal, man, because like the world lost somebody that day. Yeah. But in terms of like what he gave to the community while he was here, it was really the channel for the people, if I'm honest with you. You get me? Not to talk negatively on any other music platforms in any way, shape or form, but he was really like the innovator of him as a person being out here, prior to him necessarily looking at it solely as a business or anything like that, being out here and pushing a wave of talent and creating that conveyor belt of there is somewhere to go where you can be anyone from anywhere, But if you've got talent and you're willing to work and be consistent, there's an opportunity here for you. And one thing, like, he didn't charge people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get me? I'm sure people can talk in terms of their personal experiences, but I never paid for an upload from SBTV when I was putting those tunes up. And that's something that is foreign in this day and time that we're in nowadays. You get me? People pay for articles to be written about them. But it was literally a thing where he would sit there, go through and tell you whether he liked it or not. And if he liked it, he's pushing it. And pushing it to the world. Like, because he believed in that, you know what I'm saying? And coming from that time, that's very influential to, even when you're talking about the A&R and thing, why I'm like, I kind of find it hard to even look at it as a job, because it's something that I feel like naturally we should be like, you would do sick if you connected with this person. I just see that as part of like the time that I grew up in, like people connected with each other in real life. You know what I mean? And he was an embodiment of that without a doubt, and SBTV was doing that. So yeah.
So why is that not happening now? Why do you think that is? Like, people are not pushing each other in the industry at this day and age.
I think we live in a time where everything's supposed to make money. Just like, that's not even in the music thing, just everything. Any hobby that you have, you're supposed to make money. You can make smoothies for yourself every day. I was like, oh, I love making a smoothie, or fresh pressed juice, and someone will tell you, oh, you know, you should sell them, they're banging. Like, just because you like doing it. You could be gardening in your, like, someone will tell you, oh, you need to get a farm and industrialize that. Like, when you just like growing like tutu potatoes, like tending to your apple tree, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one does anything just to do it anymore, or just because they think it's the right thing to do, or they think this is fun, or this could be great. They do things because they need to see an immediate monetary or numerical benefit towards it. And yeah, it bypasses a lot of things generally in terms of the human experience, but that's another conversation for another day.
We've had many a conversation where we talk about what success, and we've always agreed, and it sounds like you're of the same mind, where really success is what feeds your soul.
100%.
And I mean, why would we still be doing the things we love? I mean, we were same ages when I started music, 15. Why are we still there doing it? Because it feeds the soul. 100%. And it's a lot, like you say, people go like, they'll start with, oh, how's your music thing going? You know, are you getting paid yet? You know, it's that, well, yeah, I am, but not in the way that you think. 100%. You know, what makes a rich man? Well, I feel rich doing my music, 100%. You know, I love it, you know, and the same with you, with, you know, running and things like that. And that now, the same with us with this podcast. We love it. We just love the idea that we're interviewing interesting people. I mean, I love it because it's in my garden, in my pub, like interesting.
Love it. But even this, bro, even this as a setting is formed from the things that you love, and being like, I love this, I'm going to make this happen. You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine living life without that as a motivation, like. That must be hard. I couldn't imagine getting up out of bed in the morning and there is nothing that I'm going to love doing in the day.
It's soul destroying, because work becomes people's lives. They think it becomes their lives, and it's like, you know what, I mean, I talk to people quite a bit that haven't got passions and stuff. And I try to say, well, would you really love doing?
They don't even know.
They don't even know, because the cycle of, you go to school, right? You do your SATs. You got to do well in your SATs. You come out of that. You got to do well in your GCSEs. You got to get your A levels.
Uni.
Yeah, you know.
Job.
Exactly.
House, kids, done. And then you're 70 years old and you don't even know what you like anymore.
Exactly.
God forbid.
Well, the reason I called this pub the Champ and Contender in the first place, like, my dad was an ABA fighter. He was a boxer, and I always remember him saying, you know, I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender, like the old Brando saying. And it always stuck with me. It's like, you know, I don't want to say that. I want to go and do it.
Be something.
Go, man.
Yeah, you got to give everything a go.
You got to give everything a go. Everything that is towards, like, I always say this to people in any decision making, like, if you believe it is towards the life you're trying to create for yourself, in terms of how it feels, just give it a go.
Yeah.
Just try it.
Yeah.
Just give it a go. If you know it don't serve you, cool.
Yeah.
If you're like, no, I got no interest in that, because there's so many things in the world, it's a bit confusing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It can be a bit hard to discern what I'm here for. But when you find it, why would you ever let that go? It don't make sense to me.
But some people self-sabotage, don't they?
100%.
Yeah. I'm a self-sabotager.
I've self-sabotaged at many points in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man's been nicked, all of these things, and been through certain things where it's like, that is preventative of things that I would want to do in music.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've had to sit down with myself, like, having come from the area that I've come from, and you get me, other things are presented as opportunities to you, you know what I mean? With more immediate success, however other people would put it. Like, and it actually compromises the life that I'm trying to build for myself in terms of where music is something that I have the opportunity to get up and do every day. Like, without having to worry about bread. I could say I'm not gonna go to work and I'm gonna make music every day, and I'd make music every day, but I'd be broke. I wouldn't necessarily be on zero, but I'd be broke. Like, I'd be broker than I want to be. So I go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's because it allows me to build a life in the way that I want to live life.
Yeah.
Some people don't think about that. You just want to build a life that's simple. Life isn't simple anyway, so you're just going to be miserable.
you have to compromise your dreams, don't you? And you have to join the big. You have to be a cog in that clock, I suppose. And but listen, there's something you touched on there. I mean, someone who ultimately believes in you is your mum, right? Yeah, I always take away from that gig that you done. Your mum, which does not look like your mum, by the way. She looks so young, man. She was watching you, and she was so proud. And I remember going up to saying, "Oh, you must be really proud." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm really proud of my boy." And I was like, "Oh, that's so nice to see." And you think the stereotypical rapper goes on stage, and it's like we've got to be dark with it, we've got to be hard with it. But that's, in my eyes, that's 10 times better. That's real.
Yeah.
Mum supporting son.
But you know what it is? It's like, you see, when we're talking about all of this stuff, it's just about being honest with yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And my mum knows all parts of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? My mum's seen me in whatever circumstance, or knows about how I've lived life in whatever way. You get me? Because we have a very honest relationship. Yeah. So I can go on stage and talk about all of my life or present anything because my mum knows that about me. You know what I'm saying? She knows that first and foremost. But a lot of people struggle, I feel like, even as rappers, like I said, fitting into a box, being like, I can only make road rap, or I can only make grime, I can only make angry music, or whatever you envision presenting yourself. I don't care about that because I come from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my yard, like with my mumsy, I was able to be myself, like, to comfortable degrees that it translates in my music. So yeah, man, I'm blessed.
So you're staying true to yourself pretty much, really?
Yeah, man, that's what I'm trying to do, bro, because you can get lost in the matrix. Like you said, like, you're forced automatically to be a cog in whatever system that you fall into. We don't get a choice. We're just born. You just come out one day and you're like, oh, hello. Like, and the circumstances that fall upon you are the circumstances
the
that
matrix begins.
Literally from there, bro. Literally from there. And whatever time you're born in with, whatever system is in place in the world, you have to fall in line to whatever degree or face whatever consequences. When really, we should just be out here, you're born, you get me, we're all naked and we exist and do what we like.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really and truthfully, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Actually, like, I'm grateful that I have a close enough relationship with my mum that I don't have to worry about, like, pretending to be someone that I'm not. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, it just translates into the music, man.
Before we continue with today's episode, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Blackburn & Co. Whether you need staircases, balustrade, fencing, gates, bespoke metalworks, Blackburn have got you covered. And they offer a friendly and professional service. At Blackburn & Co, metalwork runs deep. This family business spans 3 generations of skilled smiths, passing down traditional blacksmithing techniques and transforming them into modern welding and fabrication. It's heritage you can trust, built into every piece they create. They work with metal because it's reliable, and their customers choose them for the same reason. Fully insured and proudly accredited by CHAS, Construction Line, SMAS and Safe Contractor, Blackburn & Co deliver work that's as safe as it is solid. From large-scale commercial projects to customer pieces for your home, ornate gates, bespoke balconies, railings and more, no job is too big or too small. They offer a full service from design through to installation. If you want to contact them, call them on this number. That's 01277 674299. Or better yet, to go to their website, click on the link in our bio on Instagram or click on the link in our bio on YouTube. Right, back to today's episode. It's amazing. I can relate to that. Like, you know, my family have always supported me with the music. Like, keep your feet on the ground. You know, go and do what you love. And
I can see from even like the photos of you, like you were showing me the photo back there, like I can see, you know what I mean?
on me crying when West Ham won the Europa Conference, which I cried. You know,
emotional stuff.
Yeah, mate, I was in here, bawled my eyes out. I'd work the next day, but I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Good.
Yeah, you know, you got to. You got to. Amen. Listen, who influences you rapper wise?
UK, US?
Well, all of it, because we'll go on to this afterwards, right? It's a good little lead-in for what we want to go into, but I see both sides.
Right.
Do you see what I mean? From flows and lyrics and the optimism. Like, tell us both sides, UK and American or US, you know, like what influences?
I'm a 90s baby. So when I grew up as a child, like most of the hip hop I heard, Biggie, you know what I mean? Busta Rhymes, Ludacris, you know what I'm saying? Like Twista. Yeah. Like, man grew up on them guys, of course the Jay-Z's and whatnot, like, but like for me, like those are like standout people. 50 Cent, of course, like those are people that I grew up on because we didn't do rap over here. No. Them times like Mumsy was playing like MC Neat. You get me? Like, you get me? Like all of them things there, which is cold, which is also why, like I said, the garage thing, or you get me? Like the D&B thing, all of them things there, those are influences as well. But at that time, in the generation I was born, we hadn't quite established that over here. Yeah. So like there will always be an American influence in terms of like Sonics even. Like I always rap like a UK, like I'm from the East End. I can't pretend like you're not going to hear me rapping in an American accent, but you might hear me on an American kind of production style for whatever reason, you know what I mean? So when it comes to that kind of time in my life, those are the foundational rappers that I kind of grew up on, you know what I'm saying? A bit of Talib Kweli, a bit of Common, you know what I'm saying, when she wanted to delve into the hip hop. But like I got to experience hip hop, like I feel personally, like from the 90s to the noughties, like at the pinnacle of its evolution, like whereby we got the R&B influence once again from the Ja Rules, like, and 50 Cents, like, you know what I'm saying? I grew up on all of that stuff. So that will never really leave me. Like when, in terms of ever having aspirations as a rapper prior to grime and that coming out from like 04 when I turned 11, all of them aspirations, or all of me like, oh, this thing is cool, came from all of that American stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I can't ever ignore that. But when it comes down to, and of course, like, well, when I say even the rappers I've chose is because it was just me and Mumsy at home as well. Yeah. So she's not listening necessarily to the Dipset. And then man there, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she's listening to like rappers on a hip hop thing, it's like the Commons or the Talib Kweli's or the Mos Defs.
But that comes from her poetry though,
as well.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So you see how it all comes into tandem. Yeah. But in terms of like, if you were to ask me like maybe like 3 rappers that influenced me the most to this day that I listen to, Kendrick Lamar, Gets, because as a UK rapper, we could talk about that separately. But there's a lot of reasons why Gets is a big influence for me. Like even his journey, regardless of his music, especially being from Newham, and one of them things there is a major influence to me. And if I was to round it off with a third one, he will probably be American. I would say probably there's a brother called Mick Jenkins. If either of you have heard of him, no. We'll share some music afterwards. I think you'll really like him. Like, but he's the only person that I think anyone has ever compared me to, and I've been like, oh, that's kind of cool. But he's also a 90s baby. I think he's born in 91. So like I feel like the influences would be similar in terms of timestamps. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like they're all very lyrical individuals. Kendrick and Gets, if you were to do American and UK in terms of current influences. Like to me, I feel like the scope of music that they do, and even like the way that they refuse to kind of minimize the lyricism at maybe the expense of how commercial this song can be.
Yeah.
It's something that I feel like I relate to in my journey.
Yeah, I mean, Kendrick Lamar to me is like, it's a weird way of saying it, but he's like the David Bowie of rap.
I hear you on that.
He's so, like, David Bowie to me is like a genius in terms of artistry and morphing and turning and making his own stance. And I mean, when you hear...
It's the individuality though.
Oh, mate.
Like they stand alone within their field. Like it's not even that you stand out of your field, but in your field, there's no one around you.
Yeah. And for a guy from Compton as well, that's like so sort of more artistic to give more, it wasn't tarnished with that, you know, Compton sort of brush. Do you know what I mean? There's more to the man.
Tough guy.
Yeah, it was more like, I'm an artist. I'm more Prince. I'm more David Bowie as a rapper.
And also, and like even with Prince, like and David Bowie, like those guys are not, even if they're not presenting as the madman, they're not soft guys either. Prince was out here beating up guys. Kendrick, like when he did the I've forgotten the name of it, but he put out, and it was the big party, and he brought everyone out from Compton and LA, and he performed like after he ruined Drake. When he did that, I think it was the show out or the pop out. When he did that. Like you can see that he gets love from these people. He's not foregoing the bad guys or the guys on the roadside or the guys that are really gangster or anything like that, because even if that's not the role he's playing, that's still part of his experience. That's still part of his community. Those are still his friends, his cousins, his uncles, his aunties. Like, and that's what I talk about. I don't understand when people force this like bad boy thing and act like you don't have a girlfriend at home that you hug when you're upset.
Exactly.
Or you're not gonna cry when your mum passes away. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't feel pain, like, because that's inhumane. That's inhuman. It's not how it is. Like, it doesn't make sense.
You have to be human to make music, like, full stop.
100%.
Period. It's interesting you say Kendrick, and obviously you don't have an American accent by no stretch of the imagination, and I love EastEnders anyway. You know, I mean, I can't get more, Frank Butcher than me, mate.
We love it.
But like, I feel that hip hop soul within your tone, if that makes sense. And it does make sense when you say, you listen to Biggie and those guys, because those guys were pulling from the 70s and the 80s tracks.
Right.
Kool and the Gang and people like that, and they were taking, Juicy, blimey. I mean, that track alone, if the soul that pours out of that is unbelievable. Listen, on the back of that, we've got a little game called Shot Stopper. I'll tell you what, I'll do you a drink afterwards.
Thank you very much, because I can't do it if we do a shot stopper.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you might breeze this, but this is the game. So, we are going to put two people's names up against one another. I always use, say, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. You got to pick one. So, you go, Muhammad Ali. Okay. And then all of a sudden I go, all right, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson. You go, I don't know. It's a shot. Okay. So, all right. So, what we've done for your...
So, it's this or that, and when I stumble, I've got to do a shot.
Yeah.
All right, sweet as.
So, we've done... your subtitle for this is the US versus the Brits. And it's all about rap. Rap,
Yeah, cool, yeah.
All about racks. Page 3 models.
See, he said racks, I thought about money. I said, racks.
All about currency. Right, here we go. Let's go.
You go.
Go on, you go first. Go for it.
J. Cole or Wretch 3-2?
Wretch 3-2, he spun him on a tune already.
Really?
Yeah, there's a tune with Tiny Temper, Wretch 3-2 and J. Cole, and Wretch 3-2 has the best verse.
Okay. Cool.
All right, here we go then. So, Wretch 3-2 or Nas?
Nas.
I'm
saying discography-wise, in terms of music, I prefer definitely Wretch 3-2.
Really?
Yeah, not that Wretch 3-2 has been a better rapper or has more longevity than Nas, but in terms of who influences me more or who I've enjoyed more in terms of the age I was and who I grew up listening to, Retrospective for me as a British UK rap album is probably the best British UK rap album I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, fair enough.
And there's a few contenders in there, but that one was serious at the time for me. So, yeah.
All right. Wretch or Kalashnikov?
Wretch.
Okay.
Okay, Wretch or Tupac?
Wretch.
Really? Wow.
I'm not a Tupac fan.
We've done it early. We do this all the time.
This every time. We get one up there that we don't think is going to last.
No, it might change.
It might change.
It might change. I'm just not a Tupac fan. That's what it is.
Okay.
People might shoot me when they see me in the street, but I'm not a Tupac fan like that. Like I said, when we were talking about influential rappers, I grew up listening to Biggie. Like,
See, that's weird coming from poetry as well.
Yeah, Tupac, I relate to the message more, but I guess similarly with Nas, in terms of music that moved me at the time, like, my mum is also, as well as being like a poet, like she's a party person as well. You get me? And I'm a party person. You get me? So like Juicy in the rave, there's like, I can hit 'em up in a rave and that on the gas moment and that. But I'm a person, in terms of experiences that I bonded with music, there's so many like Biggie Smalls moments that I'm like, Juicy in the dance. So for that reason, when it comes down to like Nas and Tupac, it's not that I don't respect their craft. Just in terms of like my personal preference of people that you might hear that I've listened more to if you did my Spotify playlist, it's probably Wretch. It's probably Wretch.
Go listen to that Spotify. There you go. All right. So, Wretch. Oh, this is hard. Kano.
I'm from East Ham, mate.
I love Kano.
Yeah, I love Kano. Like, and he's got more discography than Wretch. I think Wretch's discography stronger if you were to ask who hit like higher rankings for each project that they did. But Kano is from the ends, man.
Didn't they do a song Mount Rushmore together?
Yeah.
Who won on that?
Who won on that? Hey, Wretch.
Also
Wretch didn't win on it.
I rate Kano. I rate Kano big time.
Okay, I see Wretch, Gets and Kano. Those, in terms of if you were to ask me about UK influences, those two, like, they are Mount Rushmore to me, like in many a way. So I just love the song.
Okay.
I just love the song, and I believe that's an Emil production, and he's very cold as well. You get me? And I think Aisha Raquel's doing vocals on that. She's a collaborator of mine. The songs that you would have heard on that day, Aisha Raquel was doing the singing on that.
Right.
And she's also from Newham. She's from the ends. You know what I'm saying? So
you go.
there's a lot of ties for different reasons. But if you was to ask me on that song,
Wretch
one, but. There's an old school remix of a tune. It's top 3 selected, and Kano gets some retro on that.
Yeah.
And Gets has the best verse out of them 3. Scorcher has the best verse out of all of them. But there's many moments. It's too techie. But who did you ask me about? Kano. It's Kano.
He was that Kano.
Kano and Wretch. Yeah,
and you said Kano.
I'm giving
So
Kano.
you or me?
You.
Oh, so Kano or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar. Okay. That's easy.
Why?
He did music to a more serious level for longer.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't delved into anything else. Like, Kano is a celebrity. Like, he's Scully from Top Boy as well. Like, he's not just Kano. To my generation, he's Kano. To the generation after me, he's Scully from Top Boy. So, like, you have transgressed into other realms that, as an individual, like, within his artistic expression, like, very much dope. But if you're asking me about rappers, it's not a question. It's Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, so we're going to have another US versus UK here. So Kendrick Lamar or Chip?
Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar or Styles P?
Oh, I'm going to go with Kendrick Lamar solely because of the musical like heights that he's reached. And I'm not even talking about success here. I'm talking about expression, like from Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly to Damn to Mr. Morale and Heavy Steppers. Those are all sonically very different albums. If you look at the whole spectrum throughout his whole artistic journey, even if you include like Overly Dedicated and whatnot and Section 80, there's so much different music going on in GNX. There's so much different music and it slaps across the board. Like,
it makes sense why you're so like artistic all over the place, because not all over the place in a bad way.
I'm all over the place. Even the
all over the place.
I had to get one of them.
Which I think's a look, man. I think it looks cool. Like, it's something about it. I don't like, you know, was it Fetty Wap? Like, yeah. So like, there's something interesting about that, though. It draws you in. like use it as a I bet you do like a force for goods. You know?
Yeah, 100%. I don't shy away from it.
It must scare people when they be like,
Yeah, some people ain't sure. I let them know. So you can be sure. It's all right.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's quality. Right.
Styles P, why did you on that?
Because Styles P is probably like, bro, the Locks as a 3, like, that's generational talent in terms of like rapping ability. But making music is more than just rapping ability. So if you're asking me about like these people as rappers, beyond just solely their rapping ability, I can't put Styles P above Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
But if you ask me in terms of bar for bar, if I saw them go to back, I ain't ruling out Styles P holding it up. Ain't no way. Because Styles P, that's some serious legendary and like anyone that I know that has been around him, like my friend Daryl Cole, look at me, I believe he was around Styles P a few times when he was in New York. And like you can just see like the lyrical prowess in like individuals like that where barring is just in your everyday. You get me? I'm sure that Kendrick has a level of inspiration from Styles P.
Yeah.
And so that one I had to do that. So yeah.
Okay. So Kendrick or J Hus?
Kendrick Lamar, without a doubt. J Hus, I definitely believe he could definitely, like, J Hus is what, like 10 years? Well, not 10 years, but like he's more than 5 years younger than Kendrick. You get me? Because Kendrick's a few years older than me. Like, undoubtedly, I felt like for the East London thing, he could have gone there. Like, but he's not, one, the most lyrical, and two, he doesn't release as consistently, I think, and he's had troubles with the law and whatnot. You get me? So in terms of you asking me where, in terms of the music, you have to say Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, I think this one's going to get you now. Kendrick or Biggie?
Kendrick or Biggie?
Yeah.
Kendrick.
Really?
Biggie died, man. We only got 2 albums.
He's straight up. He's real.
We only got 2 albums. No? He died, like, unfortunately. But we only got 2 albums. He could have been after that.
Yeah.
We don't know. He could have just, after that, everything just poop. Yeah. We don't know. Yeah. But one thing I will say is that there's certain realms in music that Biggie touches that Kendrick doesn't.
Right.
Like I can be in the dance with a gal on a... You get me? I ain't doing that to no Kendrick song. You get me?
Yeah.
Mustard! I ain't doing that to no Kendrick song. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it to no Kendrick song. But yeah, Biggie had that time. Like I think that time where like we incorporated women like into rap beyond them being participants of rapping. Yeah. Like is something that we don't really get nowadays as well. Yeah. So like it's just something that is not really touched upon, but Biggie was doing that. You get me? Especially as a big brother, he was doing it. So.
Yeah. All right, so Kendrick or Gigs?
Kendrick or 50 Cent?
Oh, is it a shot?
Ooh. Yeah, a shot.
Oh, right.
Why is that? Why is that a shot?
Because 50 is alive, not still doing music, but like I feel like the level of influence of like Get Rich Die Trying and that time in music, I feel like the early 2000s to mid 2000s like is like a golden era of music and time, innit? Personally, like, and it's probably because of my age. I just mean like, and that's a very personal thing. Like in terms of like age I was at the time, I don't think I'll ever feel that way about music ever again.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to kind of 50 is a difficult one. I think 50 is one of the greatest rappers of all time. Yeah. And not necessarily because he's the greatest writer of all time or like he said things that no one's saying, but stylistically and what we got at that time, that's like to me the perfect blend between Bad Boy and Ladies Man. Like I feel like that in terms of like my aspirations as a rapper, in terms of like being like kind of all encompassing, he did it in the most simplistic way. Yeah. You get me? Like you'll be there with the gangsters, like talk about, you get me, take it to the candy shop. Unprecedented.
So there was meanings behind that candy shop.
Yeah, a lot of meanings. But I'll take a shot.
Limoncello?
Sure, that's like what.
Do you want? Well, I'll tell you what, you can pick.
I'll take a Kraken. Go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a Kraken. I do love a bit of Kraken.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna go with so we're starting fresh now.
Starting fresh.
Thank you very much.
Right, here you go. Shot first.
Shot first.
Cheers,
boys. Cheers, ching. Yeah.
All the best. Good health.
100%. So a good 2025.
So what are we saying? We're going Wiley versus Cameron.
Wiley.
Why?
Yeah, personally, Cameron was cold. You get me? Very, very cold. It still is. You get me? Like, you know, he was with Cameron, yeah, he's a character. You get me? Like, me and Cameron, I look at Cameron like paid in full. Like, you get me? Like, there's certain associations, like, you get me, the pig furs and like, as an icon, like, it's sick. And Wiley is also a UK icon, but I just feel like Wiley is like, especially like in terms of my affiliations in grime and like my associations in grime, like you always, there's in every generation there's this one guy that makes beats and spits and kind of influences bare shit. You get me? It was Wiley, then it was Dot Rotten. I would say in my generation it's probably Jams. In the next generation it's probably Novelist right now. You get me? Like there's always this one guy that like is just wired differently from the rest of his peers that can make beats and make like on a spitting thing, make tunes, and will sit there and make bare songs. Like an unprecedented amount of songs.
Yeah.
And they could just do it on their own with a computer. And you don't get those people often.
No.
So I wish I was one of them. I'm not. But I appreciate it for what it is. So Wiley, yeah.
Okay, so Wiley or Lethal B?
Wiley.
Okay. Wiley or Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
If I was saying personally, I'd probably still stay Wiley, but Lil Wayne, that brother's got mixtapes upon mixtapes upon mixtapes. Like, I don't really think, like, even that Piff era in terms of global scale of understanding, like, music, like, how music was being dropped, that, like, celebrities were just giving shit away. He's the last of that, especially over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the last of that, where I just got music for the fans, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's the last of that, and I feel like that time in music is sorely missed.
I always remember downloading Frank Ocean's mixtapes. He would, like Nostalgia Ultra.
Yeah.
Or Ultra Nostalgia.
Yeah.
And like I remember having that on an iPod, and the iPod got plugged into somebody else's computer.
I wiped it.
And I never got it back. And who else done it? Someone else done it as well. They all used to do it, didn't they? They always used to, you go on the page, you think, this can't be real. You download it, you got the best music.
You got 60 songs.
Yeah.
They're just archive that can't come out because like I vocaled something I shouldn't have vocaled of, like that Frank Ocean project. Like that is one of the best projects I've ever heard. Yeah. You get me? Nature Feels on that, whatever that tune was originally. I said, yo.
MGMT.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I listened to the original because I heard Frank Ocean's version. That wasn't something that was ever pushed to me. Listen, I'm there like, yo, what? And then I'm hitting my head, I'm hearing, making love underneath the cherry tree.
Yeah.
Baby
It's
girl.
so good.
It's so good, bruv. It's so good. And I miss that enjoyment within music, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, like when we were speaking earlier, like everything is about how can I get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just miss the enjoyment, even within getting paid for it, that these lot were doing. It's like, I just want to have some fun, man.
Yeah.
I think they can get paid from it as well if they put it out.
Surely.
Like, with the streaming platforms.
Yeah, but the thing is, obviously with the streaming platforms, now you've got to legitimize everything. A lot of them tunes, though, they're people jumping on covers and things like that.
That's why Kanye's been ripped so much, you know, like things like, I know you're tired, all that stuff. It was a kid, wasn't it? Like, that sung it, and he just completely... like done him,
but see, that's dark. But but when it comes down to just people like creating, like we're so limited. There's times I've been in the studio, a man have started chopping. No, you can't use that sample, bro. But you could hear he's in the groove. And it's because you're thinking about how can I make money from this. If we make a banger, we're not gonna make money from this because I can't clear the sample because I'm not that person yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it limits the creativity because who knows what we would have done with that in terms of the level of how good the song would have been. You know what I'm saying? And man, it just kind of me off, bro. So I'm very completely honest about it. Like, maybe I'm a bit old, like maybe I'm an old man now, you know what I mean? But like, it just gets me annoyed, like we're facing all these limitations and things that are human. Like, I should just be able to create, bro.
I know. The human cog work that dulls life is vastly taken over, and it is just anyway. Look, let's not all go. Well,
let's not do that. Let's do it.
Whoa,
Champ and Contender.
Yeah.
Forget about that. Let's rise above.
Right, here we go. It's me, I think.
Okay.
So, Lil Wayne,
Yes,
or Gets.
Lil Wayne. Unfortunately,
Okay.
but it is Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Lil Wayne or Jadakiss? He did his laugh.
Yeah.
Did you mean that?
Yeah, I did. I did
okay.
it. I mean, I'm a rapper, man. It's deliberate. No, it's still Lil Wayne.
Okay. Right.
So, Lil Wayne or Dave.
Definitely Lil Wayne.
Can I add one in?
Yeah, go on.
All right. Lil Wayne or Eminem.
Oh, I didn't think about him. when I was
Is
writing this.
Lil Wayne.
It is Lil Wayne.
It is Lil Wayne.
Okay.
It is Lil Wayne. Only because Eminem became less good without drugs.
True, isn't it?
It's honest. Like, we have to be honest about these things. He wrote from a very traumatized space.
What do you think about the whole Machine Gun Kelly thing? And like, I mean, look, it's all sort of like dramatized and stuff like that, but he did sort of an answer to Machine, didn't he? And it felt a bit dead.
It was dead, but Machine Gun Kelly's a shit rapper anyway.
I know, right?
It's kind of irrelevant. But in terms of like when you like, there's so many things that he's released since he's been sober that you can tell that man's from a place where like it feels like he has disconnected from the reasons that he rapped in the first place.
Yeah.
And it's probably because you're not in pain anymore, bro.
It's clear.
Well, he went back, didn't he, to Guess Who's Back, Guess Who's Back, Guess Who's Back. It was like he was trying to find...
Trying to find it. But that's also part of the monetary thing of you got to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get me? I'm sure if he had time away from having to make money and upkeeping his lifestyle to whatever degree he has a lifestyle, you get me? I'm sure he would have found something else to express a new stage of life for himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But unfortunately, sober Eminem is not the Eminem that I grew up on.
No. Okay, so look, so Lil Wayne won that eventually, but who did we have up
Wretch
there?
3-2, that was running it for a while.
And Kendrick.
And Kendrick.
So, okay.
Kendrick Lamar, Wretch 3-2 and Lil Wayne. You asking me at him?
Yeah.
And do you know what? Answer the question and afterwards answer who would you work with? Who would you want to work with out of them three? You can only pick one.
All right, cool. In terms of legend and in terms of musical influence, I think it has to be Lil Wayne.
Right.
Lil Wayne is a father in this thing. And not that Kendrick's not a father or won't be a father, but Lil Wayne is definitely, like a lot of rappers or his children, the greatest rapper of our time in terms of what people deem as success in terms of metrics is Drake, probably. Right. And Drake is a rebirth of Lil Wayne in a sweeter package.
Yeah.
Very simply. And that's not a disregard to Drake's own artistic endeavors or levels or anything like that. It's just more so that Lil Wayne did that from a different space. Lil Wayne made the space from the age of 17 when we first saw Lil Wayne coming out. Like, he was a teen when he first started coming out. So I think that longevity and that level, and even like things that have been dropped in more recent years, he's still a barrers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people fall off with old age, with drugs, with alcohol, with life, with gaining weight and not exercising or whatever. Like, a lot of men fall in all of these ways, and he's still a barrers. So I think overall it has to be Lil Wayne until he starts making music or like writing verses. And if it was someone I would have to work with, I think I'm most curious least about Lil Wayne, actually.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't need that. Like, Lil Wayne served me as a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, he inspired me to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But in terms of now, who I would think I'd get the most inspiration in the moment from, it's a hard one between Kendrick Lamar and Wretch 3-2, because Wretch 3-2 is different with it. But I think...
Call it out. Call it out.
I'm going to go with Kendrick.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Kendrick because I feel like his creative process would intrigue me more.
Yeah.
I feel like I would relate maybe more to Wretch being from the UK and like with like some of the songs I grew up with and maybe the conversation I might have with him in terms of whatever I've seen in the grime scene in the years of his career. Like, it's a lot more close to home. But I think I would learn like some real interesting shit watching Kendrick's process with, even if I didn't write the song with him. I feel like just watching his process would be mad interesting because you come from a different world, bro. Like, you come from Compton, like LA, and you come from the machine of music. You come from like where it is really industrialized to push you to become this global superstar. So how do you maintain the lyricism whilst being the global superstar and making that much money? So I think, Kendrick Lamar.
Well, Kendrick, you heard it.
Hopefully he does. Shout me, Mr. Eklipse on the Instagram.
Yeah, exactly, mate. We'll at him. Say, wait, Kendrick, come here, man. Come and have a listen to this.
To the pub.
Come and listen to the pub. Come and listen to a real rapper, mate.
So in all of this rap, UK, America, do you feel like UK can stand up with the Americans?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. That's the only question. Can I have one more?
Yeah, of course you can.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I did say I was going to get you one.
But without a doubt, I feel as though like you have to understand that it's like, all right, it's like a child fighting a grown adult. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about in terms of monetary success, if you're talking about in terms of scope, there are two things that will forever prevent the UK doing that. We are decades behind them in terms of our hip hop journey, or rap journey. Thank you very much. Number one, because UK rap became a thing over here. Not that they weren't rappers, but UK rap became a thing over here when I was a teenager. So that's only
long.
15 years. Rap has been a thing over there since the 70s.
Yeah.
So that in itself, and we're a small island, bro. Like, how many people are there in the UK? What, like 70 million?
Yeah.
That's like, we think that's a lot of people, bro. Bruv, we're not even a state in certain like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a joke. Like, so when you're thinking about how much bread you're gonna make it, how many consumers do you have?
Yeah.
And that's why I advise people to go to Europe. Not to say that I've explored that to an extent that has made me any bread, but I've seen through like the most recent project I dropped with EXP Share, that they're an Amsterdam-based label, and I did a retreat with them in Dungeness with a few UK artists, Aisha Raquel, who I mentioned earlier, my brother Daryl Cole, who was actually recently on tour with Nas, Thierry Gans, like loads of other people from around. Drex Carter, who's a big artist from Florida, like he's got like 11 million streams on certain songs and things like this. Like, we all came to a place in Dungeness, and I've realised the love that I've got from those songs, like those are from Amsterdam, they're an Amsterdam-based label, and love is more than I get here in the UK. And last year, that was a real major part of my journey. I dropped a project called Dusk Till Dawn. I'm dropping the deluxe for that in 2024 because I believe in pushing your music until the end of time. But I dropped that in 2023. 2024 as part of this album, and all the singles that I dropped as part of the album have more love than any of the tunes that I dropped from Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah. And that's not because people think Dusk Till Dawn is a bad project or that it's not levels or it's not good. It's nothing to do with that, because people will come to me and talk to me on the people that listen to me, like, that song from Dusk Till Dawn, crazy. But there's more people out there, bro. There's people that like different shit. Like, and we unfortunately, living in this small island, act like it is a big part of the world. And on a geographical level, it's not.
No.
Like, you get me? In terms of an influence level, yeah, like in various different parts of things, 100%. But in terms of a geographical thing and on a numbers game, there are many parts of the world that are bigger than Britain.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, most of my following's from Germany.
You see it there?
Yeah, like, I mean, I went to, it was strange, got song of mine, plug in now, song of mine, Gospel Truth. Like, I wouldn't have been able to have the career I did afterwards had Germany not asked me to come over, and I didn't even know it. I turned the radio on, Gospel Truth's on the radio, and like got like a top 40 hit in Germany with one of my songs. In the UK, they didn't get it. Over there, they was like, we're backing this. Yeah. And then off the back of that, the UK had to go, well, what's going on over here then?
Right.
And then they don't move. This is the thing with the UK, right? I don't know about your personal experience and stuff, but in mine, they don't tend to move unless others serve it up for them on a plate.
I think that's how we are as people over here.
Yeah.
We don't tend to be interested until we see that there's interest.
Yeah.
Especially us Southerners. So I spent a lot of time in Brum.
Right.
Like, and it's a bit different up there. It's a bit slower. They're a bit more community and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But us lot down here, like, we will see something. You know what it is? It's because you're worried about someone having you on.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. We come from a hustle and bustle where someone's always trying to make a buck, or someone's always trying to pattern something, like, or sort out whatever they want to sort out. You know what I mean? So sometimes you're like, fuck fuck all of that. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, you know what I mean? But it really could be something that you would enjoy, or something that you could contribute to, or something that you're actually like, oh, what's going on here? And I think that actually trickles down on a communal basis, like in society for us over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's proper dog eat dog. Like, it's dog eat dog. Like, we know what it is. Like, we don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? No one's even contesting it.
Yeah. Well, what advice would you give to, you know, a young rap artist, young grime artist, you know, young trap artist, whatever? Like, what advice would you give to a young rapper in this day and age?
I would say, think about your future, because being a rapper, there's an association that you can't be a normal guy. You know what I mean? You got to be a drug dealer. You got to be someone that punches people up. You got to be someone that's in whatever way. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you said drill and those things there. There's always the assumption you have to be of this role to do anything here. There's nothing wrong. I love someone like JME, for example.
Yeah.
You're just a cool guy. You have a wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? You weren't talking about you're a drug dealer. Your older brother was the one who's a bit more on stuff than you, or talking about that kind of stuff. And you're happy with the person that you are.
Yeah.
So I would say be authentic, really, to summarize that. When we were talking about that earlier, just being yourself. You know what I mean? And also, do stuff that you enjoy, man. And don't be shy, especially when I talk about that fronting behavior of like, I have to be whatever, I can't be too friendly and that. Meet up with people. What me and you met at the So Far Sounds once, and we're here today doing some good stuff.
And we're going to work together.
Yeah. Whenever you want to come to studio, you can just give me a shout.
I was going to say, you need a vocalist.
We're going to run it up.
I saw that on your Insta today.
Yeah. Like, literally, I post it all the time. Like, I'm very much about, like, and it's that's been a journey for me. You get me? Like, you get me? I'm 31 years old right now when we're recording this. Whenever this comes out is whenever it comes out. I might be 32. But I'm 31 years old right now. And like I said, I started rapping when I was 15, 16. When I was 15, 16, I wasn't trying to make friends like that. When I was 19, 20, 21, you get me? I was trying to make money more than I was trying to make friends or trying to build bridges or whatever. Like, I was thinking about things in the wrong way. So it's definitely been a journey whereby I've been able to even do things like So Far, where I'm willing to just play my tracks, and it's a bit nerve-wracking because everyone's doing the acoustic thing, and people like yourself have come up to me and been like, I really enjoyed that. You know what I mean? And those are things that I'm like, where I come from, I don't really get interactions like that, even if they did enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with being honest with yourself and meeting people where you're at.
Exactly.
I'm upset
like,
I wasn't there. I was late.
Yeah.
I turned up late.
I turned up late?
Yeah. No, it was me. I turned up late for it, and I should have been there.
Oh, that day?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Both turned up late
that day. Yeah, both turned up late.
Well, I saw it and it was class.
But now we're here today, thankfully, because I wasn't afraid of him chatting to me, and he came up to chat to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we built a connection, and he decided to chat me for the podcast today, and I'm down to be here. And I've been faithful enough to meet you. You know what I'm saying? And if I didn't do that, I never would have met you today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, we got to be more open to connecting with people. And that's something that is the opposite of the demeanor of a lot of this rap.
Yeah.
The demeanor is to be, I'm this guy in whatever way. I've got bare money, I don't need no one else. You get me? I've got bare gal, I don't need no one else. I've got bare man them over here, I don't need no one else. And that's not really what it's about. And in whatever performance role that you do, like, people will try and gazump you into believing that you have to be something that serves them and doesn't serve you. So just be yourself all the time.
Exactly. You heard it. You just got to be yourself. Listen, we're coming to the end of the interview. Thanks so much for coming in. Before you go though, are Liverpool going to win the league?
Give me a shot. Yeah. Give me a shot. Give me a shot, Joseph. Give me a shot, because I don't like this. Nottingham Forest are looking like Leicester in 16.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, why are you not talking about Arsenal?
We don't need to talk about them.
We need to talk about Arsenal,
okay.
man.
Let's get into it, Fabian. Now, let's get into it.
Why don't you talk about West Ham?
Where are they?
You need to give Potter at least 18 months. If he gets fired before 18 months,
I know.
You lot are back on the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
You lot are doing that. Any manager for a little bit of time until it gets bad. You lot don't need that. Right?
Yeah.
Like, Amers don't need that.
No.
You lot need consistency, especially with that London stadium where everything's a bit spaced out and fans can't get behind you like it used to be at Upton Park. Like, that you need just some consistency where you can build a connection, build a bit of, you get me, foundation, a bit of solidarity. You lot, I personally, if you lot won the league, I'd prefer that to Man City winning the league, obviously. I'd prefer that to Nottingham Forest winning the league. I just don't think you lot are those guys.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm honest with you.
Fair enough.
And it's not because you haven't got ballers. I just don't think you have anyone that is really like on the war. That is on, like, maybe Declan might be, but he's not the guy yet.
He's under the dartboard at the moment.
Big up Declan Rash, because I think Declan could be the guy to take you there, but it's his first season there, so he shouldn't have that responsibility. There should already be a guy leading the charge. You get me? And that's why with my team...
Who you got?
I'm stressed about the contract situations we've got because all three of them are people that lead the charge. We've got Van Dijk that leads it from the back. Yeah. We've got Salah that leads it from the front. He can play 87 minutes of a dead game and you can give him the ball and he's going to do a worldie because he wants to win. Yeah. No matter what, he wants to win. And him and Van Dijk are two of those, like, they have the mentality. You get me? Anybody, anyone, at any time. I don't even care if I'm bad as long as we win. And Trent was young enough that he took that energy on, that he wants to ball out and win. So that's where, in my team, I'm worried about next season.
That's what you're more worried about?
I'm 100% more worried about next season.
So you don't think you'll win the league, or you do?
If we do win the league, it's an amazing season. Slot's first season winning the league, absolutely sensational. If we don't win the league, it's Slot's first season. Yeah. So we've already exceeded expectations. And we didn't buy anyone other than a right winger that has played, I think, 2 Premier League games and not started. Yeah. So no one can really hold, like, to me, if you ask me about my football club, we're good. Yeah. Everyone expected us to be in, you get me, in the dumps and that. Yeah. We're not, we're up there. How you feel?
I find it mad. I mean, fair enough. He only signed one person, didn't he?
He doesn't even play him.
No. Yeah, I know.
For 13.6 million and he doesn't even play him.
But he's always injured though, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know. It doesn't even matter. Because he's not starting either way. And not to say he's not a baller. He is a baller. But in terms of like what we have and what he's doing with what we have, bruv, he put Gravenberch centre back the other day. Like, he said, yeah, go to centre back. We're putting Jota in the midfield. He's got his own football mind. Even how he talks about the game afterwards. Different. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm more worried on a personnel issue because I believe that we have things that we should retain. And if we don't retain them, it's another job to fulfill. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, no, in terms of Slot himself, great season already.
That face is so smug right now. Can't say nothing. I already can't say nothing. The way that you delivered it there is just like,
oh yeah, I watch A1. I ain't one of them fans. I watch
A1.
Yeah.
A1.
Listen, we are at the end of the podcast. Where can everyone find you, Eklipse?
On all the socials, it's Mr. Eklipse. That's MREKLIPSE. And on Spotify, Apple Music and all that, it's just Eklipse, which is EKLIPSE. But thank you for having me down. I've really enjoyed this, lads.
Yeah, mate. We've made a mate, haven't we?
Yeah, no, we made a friend. We made a friend. It's good stuff.
Definitely. Listen, when you need a male soul vocalist, give us a shout.
We'll lock it in.
Yeah. And if you need any animation for your videos,
oh yeah,
I'm the guy.
Oh, we'll lock it in, boys. Yeah. We've got many things to do.
There we go.
Right. This is just the beginning.
Well, we're gonna continue this meeting.
Yeah.
Off air. Listen. All the best. Champ and Contender over and out. That is the bar shut.
We love you.
All the best.
Take care.
Wicked. Thanks, guys.
That was wicked, man. That was proper, man.
Thank
you.
Love it. Thank you. That felt so natural.